Welcome to Module 7 of Public Speaking Mastery Effective Delivery. In this module, we are going to focus on refining our delivery techniques to make our speeches more dynamic and impactful. We'll begin with notes and script preparation. While most of us may have our content prepared mentally, it is important to jot down the key points on physical notes to ensure that we are correct and precise, especially if you are giving information that relates to statistics or using quotes. Avoid using long sheets of paper. You can, of course, use your mobile phones. Earlier, we used to use postcard size cards and puncture a hole at the top and use a tag. We also used to number it. But if you're comfortable with your mobile phone, you can use it. But remember to go offline. Switch your mobile to the aeroplane mode, and that will ensure you are not distracted or getting messages while you are speaking. And it helps your delivery to be smooth and professional. Rehearse your speech. Rehearsing is not about memorizing and going on the stage and delivering your speech. It is all about refining the manner in which you deliver your speech. So, how do you do it? Rehearse time and again. So, in order to rehearse earlier without technology, we used to advise people to stand before the mirror and practice. But now, with technology, you can practice by recording yourself. You can review the volume, the pace in which you're speaking, and the clarity of your pronunciation when you record yourself in a video. If you don't have an access to the camera, you can always practice with a trusted group of friends, colleagues, or even your own family. They will provide you a constructive feedback. You can provide them with the script of your speech and ask them to make a note of the clarity of the information you are delivering. Ask them, was my main message clear? And was I effective when I delivered? Take their feedback and refine yourself. The next important thing is to check your timing. Always remember to finish earlier than the allocated time. You always have the question and answer session that follows. Remember that, and while practicing, finish at least 15 minutes earlier so you can take the question and answer. And now we are going to go to the main or the most important part: language and the gestures that relate to communication. It is important that you pay attention to language, the use of language you use in your speech. Remember, always use simple and clear language. Using complicated or complex vocabulary is not advisable. Your audience are not going to be in awe about the complexity of the vocabulary you are choosing. They're going to be confused. In order to avoid any kind of a confusion and to ensure that your message is clear to them, it is important to use simple language which your audience can understand. Please avoid cliches or overused phrases like to cut a long story short or last but not the least. When incorporating gestures, remember the gestures should be purposeful and precede the point you're emphasizing. Enhancing the impact without overwhelming the content, it is important. Now, to get a clarity in your speech, it is important to pronounce well. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks which you would have to follow. You can begin with the practice of the vowel sounds. Just to clear up the flow of air and the vibration of the vocal cords, you can practice with a, e, u, e, o. Okay? So this will relax your facial muscles and also get the sounds flowing. So it is basically the sounds a, e, u, e and o. Okay? You would sing that across. Now say a, e, u, e, o. Right? You've got that. Now, let's practice with some of the consonant sounds which are tricky when you are pronouncing. The first sound, please observe my lips. The first sound is P. Plant the pretty pink pansies in the pot. Let's go one word at a time. Plant the pretty pink pansies in the pot. Now together the last time. Plant the pretty pink pansies in the pot. Feel free to pause and listen, pause and repeat. We will go on to the next sound, which is P. P. Okay? This is the sound for B. Boring books belong below in the basement. One word at a time. Boring books belong below in the basement. Got that right? Okay. Now the T sound. This is the sound for T. Of course, we do have th and the. However, right now it's just the T sound which I'm focusing on. Take 2 tiny turtles to the tank. So, you can see the tip of my tongue is behind my upper teeth. So, there is a ridge. You can see the curves. The tip of the tongue would touch there. Take 2 tiny turtles to the tank. The last time together. Take 2 tiny turtles to the tank. We'll practice the next sound, which is K. This is a sound for K. Clever kids climb cold, craggy rocks quickly. One word at a time. Clever kids climb cold, craggy rocks quickly. The next sound is F. 5 fluffy feathers fell from the flying flock. One word at a time. 5 fluffy feathers fell from the flying flock. The next sound is V. This is the sound for V. Valiant volunteers value vibrant and verdant valleys. Let's practice this one word at a time. Valiant volunteers value vibrant, verdant valleys. Now let's practice with a passage which has all these sounds. I'm going to give a pause for every comma and full stop because those are also important aspects of your speech. Now let's look at the passage. Peter planned a perfect picnic at the park. He packed plum peaches, peanut butter sandwiches, and a pitcher of pink lemonade. Before leaving, he grabbed his blue blanket and his best buddy, Baxter the bouncy dog. Baxter barked blissfully, bounding beside Peter as they trotted towards the tall, towering trees. The sky was bright and the grass glistened with dew. They chose a cozy spot near the kites flying freely in the sky. Let's kick off our shoes and relax, Peter proposed, placing his picnic basket on the blanket. Baxter wagged his tail and gobbled a grape he grappled from the grass. As they enjoyed the treats, a gentle breeze blew, making the branches of the nearby knotty oak tree knock softly against each other. Peter and Baxter listened to the tranquil tunes of nature, feeling grateful for the glorious day. Now that I have read the first practice passage for you, I've attached another one with a tricky t sound. We have th, the, and t sounds. So this particular passage will begin with Timothy built a tiny tree house on the top of a tall, twisting oak tree. Do go ahead and practice those T sounds and record them and send them in the assignment. Now that we have practiced and got our sounds, our voice ready, we will move on to how to master the pauses, the pace, the pitch, and the volume. Pauses. Use strategic pauses, especially when you want to emphasize key points and allow the audience to absorb the information you are giving them. A well-timed pause can actually create a suspense and impact the message you are conveying to your audience. Pace. It is important for you to vary your speaking pace in order to maintain the interest and add more clarity to your speech. So, in order to emphasize on something, slow down. And in order to convey excitement or urgency, speed up your speech. And pitch. Pitch. Another trick is altering your pitch helps to express different emotions and highlight different aspects of your message. A higher pitch can convey enthusiasm and a lower pitch might convey seriousness or authority. So, which one are you going to choose? Volume. Adjust the volume based on the content and the reaction of your audience. Speaking louder can draw attention to key points, whereas speaking in a softer tone can invite intimacy, isn't it? Now, the next important aspect is eye contact. It's very important, just like your voice, just like your preparation. You cannot overlook anything over here, because maintaining an eye contact with your audience will help you build rapport and gauge their reactions. This connection is important, especially when you're adjusting your delivery in real time, because you can see the reaction of your audience, and it's a non-verbal feedback which you're getting from them. In accordance, you can modulate your speech. We have almost neared the end of our public speaking mastery course. Remember that effective delivery involves a combination of thorough preparation and the ability to adapt dynamically. By mastering these delivery techniques, you ensure that your message resonates with your audience. Now that the course is over, I would ask you to submit your speech. Submit in the assignment section the written document, a fair document which you have revised at least twice of your speech. And while writing, do not forget that the written and the spoken aspects of the language are different. So remember that and write your speech out. At the same time, please record your speech and send a link for your final assessment.